Did Joe Schoen pull off highway robbery in the 2025 NFL Draft? We're going to break that down on today's show. But first, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon. And make sure you hit the like button on every single video we put out this week. Because Tom Downey, the host of our rival channel, the Cowboys Report here at Chat Sports, has challenged Giants now to a like battle. And I hate the Cowboys, and I always want to beat them. So if you're with me, hit that thumbs up icon right now. Welcome in to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling in. We're talking about Thomas Fidone II on today's show because I believe Joe Schoen made a hell of a pick. And what I have heard coming out of tight end university this weekend makes me feel a lot better about it. Fidone said this on his experience with some of the top tight ends around the NFL working out this weekend, saying, I got some pretty cool compliments from Travis Kelce. It was just out of the blue. He told me I was extremely athletic and moved extremely well. He told me that the top of my routes were really good. He didn't say it like that, but he said it. So just being able to hear that from him was pretty cool. And when you got Travis Kelce, arguably the best tight end of all time, complimenting who you are as a player, specifically when you were a 7th-round pick and you're entering your rookie year, that's something to build off of, and all Giants fans should be pumped up about that. And when we did the video immediately after Fidone being selected by the Giants in the 7th round, I called it a sneaky good pick. There are some things that I really like about him, and we'll talk about that coming up in a second. But Fidone expanded upon the weekend with all the top tight ends around the NFL and said, I thought it was awesome being able to just connect and make connections with all of the guys around there, being able to meet with the guys, work out with them, get different input from everyone, and kind of see how they do things differently. Each tight end is different and has different skill sets and strong suits. So it's fun to be able to learn from that. And I honestly love tight end university. I know there will be some people, but Marshall, you hated that Tyrone Tracy worked out with Saquon Barkley. Well, yeah, it's Saquon Barkley, and I do not like him, and I definitely do not respect him. But I love the tight ends working out with all the top tight ends around the NFL, and it seemed like there were 50 of them there this past weekend, and the Giants, they were present as well. And you could see on screen here so many different tight ends from across the NFL were there, and it wasn't just Fidone for the Giants. Daniel Bellinger was there. Chris Manhertz, the veteran blocking tight end, was there as well, and Theo Johnson was present. So you had 4 Giants in attendance, hopefully all just getting 1% better every day. I mean, when you're in an environment like that and you're just working with the best tight ends in the NFL, you're going to pick up some things, and you're going to get better. And we talked about it. Fidone is a sneaky pick for the New York Giants. There are some things that I really like about his game, and I think he slipped in the 2nd round. We'll look at some NFL experts' evaluations of him. We'll show you the Chat Sports rankings that we had at the time of the NFL Draft, but he's a big kid. He is an extremely athletic kid as well. When you talk about his pre-draft testing numbers in comparison to really every tight end that's gone through the NFL Combine, he ranked in the 94th percentile. He ran a 40-yard dash in the 91st percentile. His short shuttle was graded at a composite score of great. His composite speed score was great. His composite explosive grade was elite. He's got the size. He's got the frame. He's got the athleticism. He just has to get away from the injury bug that has really taken him on off of the path of who he was supposed to be as a football player. In 2021 and 2022, he had to overcome ACL injuries. A non-contact torn ACL in his left knee during spring practice in April of 2021 sidelined him for his first season at Nebraska. And then he played 3 games the next year and tore his ACL again in the left knee following spring practice and missed a 2nd straight season. What I like about him, though, he played every single game in 2023, and he played every single game in 2024. And while the stats aren't super sexy, 25 grabs, 36 grabs, 260 yards, 373 yards, still solid numbers for a guy that's trying to rehab off of not 1, but 2 torn ACLs. And you go all the way back to his high school days. Fidone was the 2nd-ranked tight end in the 2021 recruiting class and the number 1 recruit in all of Iowa. So I went and looked at 24/7 Sports and their composite rankings of the 2021 class, and there our guy was, Thomas Fidone II, number 1. And you see the guy right below him, maybe already the best tight end in the National Football League, put together one of the best seasons of a rookie tight end, Brock Bowers. Look, I'm not saying Fidone is better than Bowers, but when you're just mentioned in the same sentence as him, whether it was high school or college or anything, I think that's something noteworthy. And there were times at points throughout his football career, people thought he was better than Brock Bowers. We'll talk more about Fidone in a second, but first I got to tell you about our sponsor. I got to tell you guys about a brand new sponsor on today's show, and that is Ridge. If you're looking for a new wallet, one that's much smaller than your current wallet, go to ridge.com/chat, use that promo code chat, and get 10% off. I used to have a really old crusty wallet, and it was disgusting. When I would pull it out at a restaurant or a bar, I would honestly feel a little bit embarrassed. But now with Ridge, I feel good about my wallet, and so do others, as it has over 100,000 five-star reviews. Also, over 50-plus colors and styles to choose from. I also love the fact that you can't lose it because there's a spot on the wallet for an AirTag attachment. So if you're like me and you lose your wallet all the time, get hooked up with Ridge. Also, there's more products with Ridge. It's not just about wallets. They create premium, everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and rings, all built with the same sleek, durable design. And for a limited time, our listeners here at Giants Now by Chat Sports get 10% off at ridge.com/chat, or just go to ridge.com and use the promo code chat. That's CHAT. Just head to ridge.com and use code chat, and you're all set. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about us. Please support our show and tell them Giants Now by Chat Sports sent you. That link will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Once again, I just want to say thank you to Ridge. Alrighty, I also want to talk about this for Thomas Fidone. Here at Chat Sports, as well as from my favorite NFL draft insider, Dane Brugler of The Athletic, he got some love, and that's why I was so confident in saying that he was a sneaky pick for the Giants at the time. I want to go back to Tom Downey, Chat Sports' own and host of the Cowboys Report. Make sure you've hit that like button because it's F-Tom as always. He wrote this, said Fidone has a massive frame with great athletic testing and room to add weight. A solid route runner for a tight end, but needs more strength as a blocker. Limited production and special teams value. Tom actually had him rated as the 10th overall tight end and the 182nd prospect in the total draft. Brugler wrote this about Fidone, saying, Fidone, at his best, is on a linear plane where he can get down the seam and ultimately maximize extension with his arm length to pull in throws away from his body. He is cognizant of his hands and positioning as a blocker, but he's more of a lose slowly player than an overwhelming force. Overall, Fidone is a plucky athlete with appealing length and speed, but he hasn't yet played his best football and will need to develop quickly once in an NFL camp to earn a role. He didn't play much special teams in college, which will need to change at the next level. And I agree. If you're going to want to make the back end of a roster in the NFL as a 7th-round pick, you got to produce in some ways on special teams, and I'm sure he's already working at that. Brugler had him projected as a 5th to 6th round pick. Giants got him in the 7th, and he had him overall as the 13th ranked tight end. Big, strong, fast, athletic, and he's got good hands. I also love that he played under an NFL head coach, or former NFL head coach, of the Carolina Panthers in college at Nebraska. So he's learning in an NFL offense. He's played an NFL scheme. He's put his hand in the dirt as a tight end instead of just being a glorified big slot receiver. He's had to really just shoulder some of the NFL responsibilities of a tight end, things that Brian Dable and Mike Kafka are going to ask of him this year. While I don't necessarily think Fidone is going to be the starter this year or be a guy that's thrown into the fire, because Theo Johnson was a 4th-round pick last year and the Giants are extremely high on him, there is a role for Fidone on this team maybe this year or next year. You got Chris Manhertz, a veteran blocking tight end. Daniel Bellinger's on the last year of his rookie scale deal. And Greg Dulcich is fighting for a roster spot. And you could have Dulcich and Fidone really just going head-to-head to try to earn that spot. I'm high on Theo Johnson as well. Just like Fidone, he was an athletic freak in the pre-draft process. 6'6", 260, ran an extremely fast 40 time, showed some signs of being able to be ready to play, had that seam that he caught from Daniel Jones for a touchdown last year. I'm excited to see what he does in year 2. And Bellinger, it is now or never for him. And you can kind of see a similar train that the New York Giants like in their tight ends. Big, strong, fast. Bellinger, 6'6", 255. We just showed you Theo Johnson, 6'6", 260. And Fidone, extremely athletic in the 90th plus percentile in relative athletic score. Bellinger, I'm a fan. Hasn't really been the same since his rookie year. But when you're entering a contract year in the NFL, most players, they step their game up. And it would be really nice if Bellinger did that for Big Blue. Show Fidone some love, though. A 7th-round pick, fighting to make the roster. I think there's a good chance he does. And if he doesn't, he'll land back on the Giants practice squad. But I would not be shocked if in 2, 3, 4 years from now, we look up, whether it's with the Giants or another team, Fidone's out there being productive for an offense. Hit that thumbs up icon and make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_.